Mary and Bernie started Thomas House out of a need, honestly. It was never a plan based on the story that's been shared.
The story of the beginnings of Thomas House is the story of Bernie and Mary Sells. Many years ago, 1986 or before, Bernie worked as a volunteer at his parish, helping people who needed food and shelter. And one day Mary was at the grocery store and saw a mom and a child outside of the grocery store. And she just knew they needed to do something. And that's how it started.
And then after doing that several times over, they got their families and their friends together, and they were able to rent an apartment. And that is how Thomas House started. It was not about a business. It was really started out of a need and out of individuals. It was a group of individuals who got together and said, we are going to help because help is necessary. Help is what's needed.
So there needed to be more in order to help people become self-sufficient. So at that point, a big decision was made, and that was to apply for 501c status to become a nonprofit. The reason being, in order to raise money, in order to apply for grants, you have to be a nonprofit. And so with a grant from the Orange County Register, $50,000 grant, they were able to apply for the nonprofit status, rent another unit in this apartment building, and that's really when Thomas House was born. This can't continue where families with children aren't going to have a place to stay. Unfortunately, 40 years later, there's more need even, and more complex need than there was 40 years ago when they saw that mom and child standing outside the grocery store. We've come into a new age where a new generation has taken over. We see that in our staff, in our executive director, Shakoya, and our wonderful staff that's here. The new generation thinks differently than the old generation. Nothing's impossible to them. And so they're going to lead Thomas House, if there's still a need for Thomas House, which there probably will be, into the future, into the next 40 years.
So the future for Thomas House is bright, honestly. And I say that because Thomas House is not just a shelter. Our services and our wraparound services is what makes Thomas House so very unique. And while our ultimate goal is to purchase more units, the reality is we can impact more families without purchasing more units. We can impact more families with our homeless prevention services, with families right in our own community that need to learn budgeting, need to learn life skills, need to obtain a better job. We can do that without purchasing new buildings at this time, right? And so that's ultimately our goal for the next 2 to 3 years, is to really be able to impact our families in our community and those that need our support to maintain their housing. So enhancing and expanding our homeless prevention services, not only to graduates of Thomas House, but to people in our community, people in our backyard who need the resources and supports. So Thomas House instills hope. Thomas House instilled hope 40 years ago, and Thomas House continues to do that today. And we will continue to do that for 40 plus more years. And when I say hope, I'm talking about hope in the adults, but also hope in our future. The children that we work with, they are going to be better, brighter individuals because their parents have grown, have learned, have become independent and self-sufficient, and they are able to pour better and pour more into their children so that they are able to do those things for years to come.
Thanks to wonderful people who have been on the staff these 40 years, that heart still remains. And I know Bernie and Mary are looking down right now, thanking everybody that's involved, donors, volunteers, staff, for what they've done, and being very proud of our graduate families who are back with us. We have a graduate on the board of directors. We have graduates who are social workers now and doing the kind of work they experienced when they were at Thomas House. And so I think that's when we know the mission is still alive. when our graduates come back and want to continue that mission.